Am I wrong for blowing my dad off over his crashouts or manipulation tactics? I am 23M and am in the military. Been living with my dad, 68, for about 2 years now after he moved out to where I'm stationed after retiring and getting divorced by my mom. Everything was good when he let me move in, and we set some boundaries and rules. I would initially pay for certain things like groceries, Wi-Fi, dog food, and sometimes dinners in order to ease the cost of rent. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure my dad has undiagnosed bipolar disorder and or possibly pre-dementia characteristics. Everything was going good until I started coming home from work about 3 months into living there. Being that I work some odd and long hours, usually 10 to 12, sometimes 13 or even 14 hours on occasions, I'm extremely exhausted when I'm off work. Don't want to talk to anyone, just want to do my own thing, decompress, eat, and then go to sleep right. When I have my days off, I really just want to take care of my personal things and really just ease off from the week and do what I want in my free time. I guess my dad doesn't really like that, and we have gotten into a few arguments over how, when I get back, I don't want to talk to him. I'm ungrateful that he makes me food even though I say thank you. I apparently don't get off my butt to help him out, and I'm also a punk. When we do have arguments, he usually stops talking to me for a few days. Only texts me short, mostly one-word messages with sometimes degrading comments, and is like a man-child who pouts. Fast forward to present day, we have had quite a few arguments about responsibilities around the house, paying for things which he has switched up multiple times. He is always asking for money for different bills, and that he can't afford much. And lastly, how I don't talk too much to him. I usually have to walk away when I do talk to him because he starts switching up conversations, especially when it is heated, so that he can blame me for something that I don't do, hence why I don't talk to him that much. I have also told him many times to not worry about me, and to just let me take care of my own thing for food, responsibilities, and so on. A few examples I have for when he has his crashouts. After working for 11 hours, usually getting home around 6 p.m., I left the house at 6 a.m. He has left cold food on the counter that has been sitting for about an hour, thinking that I will eat it even though I have already ate. He already knows that I've told him not to make food for me. He asks if I have eaten and I say yes. He then gets irritated and says, "Why do I make food for you if you're not going to eat it? You can put it away and clean up the mess." Being that I have a dog, my dad has a set schedule for getting up in the morning and has accustomed my dog into getting fed at 8 a.m. and at 5 p.m. Being that I work very odd and long hours, I do what I can to fill in the feeding responsibilities. In my head, feeding my dog at 6 a.m. and me not getting back at 6 p.m. is a pretty long time without my dog eating, so my dad, and I agreed that he'd take over for that. When he gets in his moods, he likes to take his frustration or anger out on me and sometimes yells at me that I never take care of my dog. Even though as soon as I'm back from work or have my days off, I tend to spend a good amount of time with her. There have been instances of conversation where he thinks he knows what he is talking about, especially about my job that he has never done before. And when I correct him or tell him that he has no idea what he is saying, he likes to get very uptight and aggressive, which he then tries to relate whatever we talk about to what he did in the military back in the day, and how things were different. Last one, this happened a couple days ago. Got a buddy who is joining the army to become a pilot. Buddy is very deep into the process and has completed all the prerequisites. Dad tells me that his friend's son is in the army and asks if my buddy wants information. I ask my buddy and he declines. Tell my dad that my buddy is good and that he is already 90% done with the process. He has the info he needs. The next day, my dad asked me to look at something on his phone. Proceeds to show me all the back and forth messages from his friend's son, the pilot. I then get a little irritated because I had already told him that my buddy doesn't need information. I tell him again he doesn't need it. My dad then gets upset and says to not ask him for any favors, tired of doing this stuff for you. My buddy nor I never asked him for information. Slight argument erupts, tell him that he always thinks he's doing a favor for someone. My dad then blows up my phone while I'm sitting in the garage sending me screenshots of this friend's son Facebook page and the messages. Proceeds to text me that I'm ungrateful, I'm a punk, and I'm disrespectful, all because I had told him 2 times that my buddy didn't need information. The information isn't even for me, lol, how am I the bad guy? To be honest, I think my dad has some underlying problems. He expects something in return for everything that he does for someone else. And I believe he has some narcissistic tendencies or traits. Am I wrong for blowing him off in order to deviate or prevent him from manipulating the situation to better himself and his feelings?